to the Viilarreal update with me, Jamie Campbell, brought to you by Villarreal USA. A busy week for the Yellow Submarine this week, so we thought we'd tackle a couple of topics, including Villarreal's draw in La Liga with Getafe over the weekend and the upcoming Thursday night Europa League clash with Stade Rennais. An interesting weekend for Villarreal. They went into that game on pretty poor form against Getafe away from home. We knew it was going to be physical and bruising away from home. It always is against the Madrid side, but a game plan from Pacheta that was completely ruined by Alex Baena early in the game, around the half-hour mark. An elbow from Baena to the face of his opponent, Mitrovic. Silly decision from Baena. You know that Getafe are going to try to get a reaction out of you one way or another, whether it's from trying to say things on the pitch or that little shove at the end of a play. But Baena rose to it and gave Getafe exactly what they wanted, a reaction that was caught by VAR, and off he went. That completely changed the game as far as Villarreal are concerned, limited what they could do in terms of going forward. When they did go forward, they couldn't commit numbers out of fear of being caught at the back. Quite frankly, Villarreal have been poor at the back with 11 players, let alone 10. So you have to forgive them for not completely going for it to try to get the win. But the start of the show was Filip Jorgensen, a player that was come under quite a lot of scrutiny. Pepe Reina, of course, was pretty awful last season. Villarreal, most people felt, should have gone to sign a goalkeeper during the summer. Jorgensen was given the chance by Setien, and now, of course, Pacheta has little option but to go with the same. So I think because so many people felt that Villarreal should have gone and signed a keeper, Jorgensen perhaps hasn't been given a fair crack of the whip, although his performances have been kind of up and down. Some good performance, some less sure performances, less confident performances, something you would expect from a relatively young goalkeeper, especially at this level. But Jorgensen was terrific against Getafe. Some unbelievable saves to keep Villarreal on level terms throughout the afternoon, diving high, low, catching everything, palming everything away. Just an almost perfect performance from Jorgensen in goal, and really a silver lining for Villarreal early in a disappointing season. It looks like Jorgensen could be a sharper and better goalkeeper than many believe, but of course we'll have to see that performance repeated over a number of games before we get too excited about his level and his quality. So let's see how he does going forward. But yeah, a game completely ruined by Baena, and after getting a man sent off so early in the game, you just have to accept that a point is not such a bad result when it could have been so much worse. So that's that one. Another La Liga game in the books for Villarreal, and another game without a win. I think that's 4 on the bounce without a win now. So the search goes on, and the search will continue on Thursday night, but this time in Europa League. Villarreal lost their opener against Panathinaikos away from home. That puts a lot of pressure on this game at Estadio de la Ceramica against a Stade Rennais team, or Rennes, however you want to say that. That have been sharp so far this season, unbeaten in Ligue 1, believe it or not, Stade Rennais, and also, of course, in Europa League they beat Maccabi Haifa in their first game, so they kind of level with Panathinaikos at the top of the group at this very early stage. But Villarreal really needs some sort of result here. If they're going to win the group, or if that's their target, which it should be, then they really need to win this one at home, given Stade Rennais are on paper, the second strongest team in the group. And Villarreal have already lost. So either way, if they lose this one, a very concerning position for them to find themselves in early in the group stage. Because if Panathinaikos beat Maccabi as expected, then that could put Panathinaikos and Stade Rennais on 6 points each, and Villarreal and Maccabi on 0. That would be a big uphill battle for the rest of the group with, 4 games remaining after that. So Villarreal need some sort of result here, and ideally a win if they're going to go on to try to win this group, which a group on paper they really should be winning. Stade Rennais, a very good side as they've shown in the Europa League and in Ligue 1 already this season. But listen, Villarreal, our group favourites, one of the competition favourites, although that has quickly changed based on the start of the season. So yeah, Villarreal, we're going to have to be sharp in this game. We want to see the same things we've been asking for weeks, that bit of extra fight, that bit of extra passion. I think Yemi Pino has already said that this week in his comments to the media. When things not going well, it's time to stick your chest out and fight to the death, and that's what we need to see from Villarreal. And that's been the most concerning thing, really, is that when they're losing games, when they're drawing games, not getting wins, it's been the lack of extra effort, the lack of passion in certain moments of the game when other teams are fighting to the death. Villarreal not quite going that extra mile. So that's one of the biggest things we need to see. And of course, some attacking quality and defensive quality is going to be needed. I know that is saying the obvious. Feel like the most basic football commentator, football pundit, if you like, for this purpose on the earth, saying that kind of thing. But listen, we just haven't seen it from Villarreal. So poor at the back for the most part, and attacking. We've scored some goals, but again, not quite as cutthroat as they need to be. And hopefully, Gerard Moreno can return from his minor injury. We need to see Ben Burton Diaz in his preferred position at the moment. We're seeing him up top when he should be playing wide. Alexander Solot has done okay, but um, again, just need to be that bit sharper, and that comes as well in Solot's defence from out wide, where we haven't been as good as usual, and that comes to the loss of Samuel Chukwueze and so on. So, listen, we want to see some progression under Pochetta, and hopefully Villarreal can manage that on Thursday night and then take that into a very winnable game at home in La Liga against Las Palmas. So Villarreal can get through this week with 4 or 6 points across the both competitions, then it'll be a very good week indeed. But based on the start of the season so far, it's hard to be positive, but let's stick with them. Hopefully they can turn these results around sooner rather than later. So moving on to Thursday then, be sure to check out Viilarreal USA for all your usual Viilarreal content in English. We'll be covering the Stade Rennais game and the Las Palmas game as well. So check out the Twitter and the website as well, and stay tuned for more Viilarreal content.